Guten Morgen. Willkommen für diese Filmvorführung im 10. Jubiläum von Bildrausch. We're going to speak in English because we will see a film with English subtitles, and we will meet the filmmaker who is speaking English. This film is called Looking for Venera. It's a first feature fiction film made by Norika Sefa. Please join me. You have to stay there because. Welcome.
Thank you, everybody.
We are filmed. We are online, so I have to say hello, guten Morgen, grüezi to all the persons who are at home watching the film and listening to you. So we decided, of course, not to spoil the film in the beginning. Just tell us, you're coming from, where are you coming from right now, and why did you decide to join Basel and Bildrausch?
Well, I came from Pristina. I am based there for the moment because I'm working on my second feature film. I'm from Kosovo, but I live in Czech Republic, but now I'm based in Pristina. I joined this festival because I really am impressed, first of all, by the choices of the film in the selection, and because I really appreciate this kind of cinema that doesn't really depend on classical storytelling, but challenges the forms and the way the narrative works and the visuals. So I was so curious to be here, and and because of the size, it's smaller than the biggest festival. It's usually more closeness, and you feel the energy in between. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward for.
You will see, we as spectators are very challenged by your way to tell the story. We don't say nothing more now, but how are we going to be invited in the film right now? That's the discovery we'll do together. And we meet after the screening for a Q&A.
Yes, sure.
You to be here.
Yeah, guys, enjoy it, and enjoy it or let it move you in some way and let it last longer than when the film it ends. So thank you for being here. We'll see each other later. My style, even though I don't start like this to work, but it's also the language. It's very hard to grasp as a language, and language is a sound. It's part of the film. If we would be too chaotic on it, it will be harder to grasp something. So it's more observing what is really happening and not what will happen. You know, it's that kind of tempo.
And you decide to have a large screen.
Yes, because it's like it allows you to see and to be whenever you want. It's like it opens space for more observation.
And do we have to understand that most of the scenes are improvised?
Well, the film is exactly like the script was, so I don't understand what's improvisation in this case, but...
everything is written?
Everything is written, but...
Oh, yeah.
But also the way it was written, it was like mostly trying to put together mindset of characters rather than action, because what I tended to do with this film, and I hope I achieved, but it was like mostly allowing characters to reveal themselves, because, for example, when you, it was all about this identity, you know, like when we start to approach the theme or like. And if you meet people who are not actors, the first question, doesn't matter what age they are, is like, why me? What is so special about me that she chooses me? And immediately you have a story there. So I allowed this process to happen within shooting and not like be driven by a storytelling. It's like a way you work with non-actors, for me.
Any questions, please, from the audience? Yes? 1 second.
First of all, congratulations on the film. I think it's really a brilliant film.
Thank you.
So my question is about the generations, and the father says, you know, at the end, when we were their age, we were providing for our families, and yet we hear over and over again that they're naive, the young people. Are we to understand, and also this last image which you talked about with the boy drinking, very much put me in the mind that this is cyclical, actually, and that maybe the parents weren't so different. What is your opinion? Is there a transformation in the society now, or are we watching a continuous loop?
I think because we are a very small, or how I approach to do that, you know, like again, avoiding to define stuff. It's rather what you feel. But how I approach this is that we are very much influenced because like a lot of time is mentioned also within the film that the war, you know. So it's how we define time as human beings in Kosovo. Like grown-up people define post-war time, and they are trying to make whatever to compensate for the lost time. While the youth wants to experiment, to live a new way, but it's dragged by how they perceive their grown-ups lived. And because we are very big families but small spaces, we tend to go in cycles. And maybe naive is a way to revolt towards something they don't want to be. They don't know what's naive. Like maybe it's more naive what she does, that she goes back home again, you know. But it's just the fear of belonging to something that is not questioned. Why don't we move stuff, you know? Why don't we challenge something? Why do we live in some, you know, like deliver this way of living to something like morals, tradition, you know? This is what provokes this kind of maybe, I would not call angriness, but repulsion towards the generation within the family.
Other questions? If not, back to your very specific way to tell, to not to tell and to tell a story. So that's very interesting how you work with fragments and have these jumps from one fragment to the other. How can you describe the process of imagining this story made out of so many little pieces of something which creates at the end a kind of puzzle?
Okay. Well, it was just about like providing the situation to reveal more to what the potential in these characters. You know, like even again, the grown-ups or the youth, they are going in circles. But once you provide the situation, they, even as a human beings, as non-actors, let's say, they show something with their body more than you understand. You know, it's like, but as about fragments, I think, I don't know, it was very intuitive. Like, I never thought, oh, I'm gonna make a film about coming of age story or like, no. It's because it's very limiting, I find. But I just wanted to make a film that shows this dynamic of a family life and maybe uncertainty that is there when there is so much clash of energies and perception. And I don't know, like for example, I grew up in a 3-generation family under one roof. So it was always a chance to question stuff. And all the question maybe I had, I was trying to build a situation to provide answers for that or to seek. Well, because as a director, I try to seek on the set, like, why did I have this feeling? So maybe that's, I hadn't started with, oh, I will make a fragment, but maybe that's the consequence.
But have you lived in this neighborhood, in these locations?
No, actually, I used to live in Prague by that time, and when I went there to find locations, I went to my hometown, which is very near this place, but I was surprised how much it changed. And then we decided to move in this place, but actually it was better because for 2 things. First of all, because the 2 actors didn't know each other, so they met in the city, in the new city, and they became like friends to each other, and they started to live together. We all went to live there, and it was interesting how we created a bubble, a film world, and we belonged and believed on it. So it was very important for me, but also as a city, it was strange because like I was questioning so much about the morals and tradition we have, because it's a place where it's a very thin line. You go to mountain and you go to this crazy forest and so on, and then there is the father and the mother waiting for you in the road to normal path. But 2 different spaces have 2 different rules of behaving, and they can have hidden places, you know. And for me, it was very, very surprising, like this thin line between 2 worlds in one city, which seems very traditional and moral. So I based the story there.
But you mentioned a city; it's more a village.
It's more town. No, it's not a village. It's a town. It's a town. Yeah. No, not I don't know. It's a town.
It's a town.
It's a town. It became little than a town. No, it's a town. I mean, we don't have bigger cities in Kosovo.
Yes. Any questions about the father and then the mother? How did you define the father? Isn't he a little bit too schematic, too made out of one single piece? Psychologically so dominant?
I had this question a lot while even writing the script, but I think like...
It's a good question or not?
I'll tell you.
So? It's boring, huh?
So do I answer? No, I answer.
Please.
No. It's like... That's what I wanted to compensate with the actor I found, because for me, the actor who plays the father shows a timidity, shows a shyness. And it's not the father, like it's more like even his body is like seeking, is checking what is going on. So I was asked a lot this question, and to be honest, I see around me in Kosovo, and this is what happened with a male, like with my father and of the fathers I know, they tend to seem strong and cliche, but then everything happens around them and they are not able to see because there is no such attitude, okay, I will solve this thing. It's more like same as 16 years old girl, like trying to seek around, And I think it's not to blame, but when you live in a big family, you lose perception and you are growing with them as well. And so I think it's more a mechanism of defense to be that figure instead of to provide something with that. I think that's what happened with the father and with his character as well. I mean, the man that played, he has 9 daughters, and for me it was so surprising to know that. I immediately, and it's this, like, and how do you talk with your daughters, we were asking. No, I don't talk. If they have something to tell me, they come and tell me. It's like, I didn't question this question later on.
And then the mother and the grandmother.
The grandmother is my own grandmother. So, but yeah.
But she's not ill like in the film. I don't want to be intimate in questions, but why did you decide to have the grandmother who is living in another world, a parallel world? She's she's somehow outside of the daily game of the family.
I think for me, first of all, we have to define what is ill. What do we call to be ill? No, it's just like, and also, if she's out of the perception, then what Venera is. Like they all are in their own world living together. I think she's very much like that. I mean, she never knew she's acting. I was just asking her, do you come and help me? I need somebody to be with me there. She was like, okay, I have nothing to do. And, but to be honest, she talks like that in the real life because she wants to express something. And maybe the rush to express because nobody is listening to you, it's a way you express yourself. It's like a rush, or you interpret whatever you have here.
One very good reason to tell you thank you very much for the film is that you have a deep confidence in us spectators, right? You believe in us. I think so. Don't you think so?
Of course.
No, but I mean, you're challenging us, and you believe in our capacities of understanding. And
well, I think
complexity.
It's easier to believe in this kind of filmmaking than to have you to identify with a character and make you follow the story and really trust on the transformation of the character, like what a normal storytelling will. In this case, I'm not just believing, I'm allowing you to feel whatever you want about the film. Of course, keeping the situation I want to present and the characters I want to show in the screen.
Where you're coming from, I mean, in your journey in cinema, have you seen many films? Have you examples having influence in your way to conceive cinema for yourself?
To be honest, I'm not a big cinephile. I watch films, but it's not how I went to filmmaking. I came in filmmaking more with a documentary, I don't know, like path, I would say. And I don't know, I don't know. I studied filmmaking in a school, but I left the school and I went to make my film. So It's like you have something to say, and you try to find forms to say that thing.
It's interesting for us. I don't know personally Kosovo, but what is going on there? What films have you seen in your youth? Could you mention some filmmakers, documentary and fiction filmmakers?
Actually, to be honest, like about the films I saw, I think I was more privileged because I was supported by the state, and we make a film club when I was like 15 or 16. And by that time, it was easy to have CDs copied. You know, it was like this black market.
Yeah.
And we had 1,000 in my home that we then gave to this. This is how I saw the films for Buñuel.
Some titles, Buñuel.
For example, like still, I think even filmmakers don't know very much about him. You know, like these kind of that. But this year, actually, in Kosovo, and I am proud to say it because it was our golden year about cinema. Because we have 5 films now. My film premiered in Rotterdam for the first time, a Kosovo film. And then we have Blerta Basholi, which did Hive, which won 3 main prizes in Sundance. And just recently, we have a film nominated in Cannes, in Golden Globe for short films. So it's beautiful. It's happening. I think we were so much accumulated to the desire to make it, and we are finding our ways.
But you have no film schools in Kosovo right now. You studied in Prague in the FAMU.
Yes, we have a faculty of arts, but it's mostly you read than you make films. You know, it's more based on not a practical filmmaking.
I was running a film school for a couple of years, and I was asking myself every morning the question: is it possible to learn and to teach about cinema? What do you think?
Well, I teach now as a substitute teacher in FAMU, and for me, it is like to find why they want to make films or what is that they want to tell, and then find the form to tell it. I think you can teach film in like 4 months, you learn all, but the practical thing is like the desire. It's something that you sense to some people and sometimes no.
Questions, please? Maybe the couple of last questions from my side, because so many things to say, but you conceiving a film, what are the periods of pleasure you have in conceiving and making the film? Do you have specific pleasure in writing down the script, to shoot, to edit, to post-produce?
I was never asked this question. Actually, all the steps were, to be honest, it's my first feature film. So the desire to be in the moment and to give full yourself into that particular stage, it was what happened to me, because it's my first feature film. So I cannot very much know what I prefer the best. But I think maybe I prefer the best when we went to live in the town, in the city, because people are they couldn't understand that we are using the whole town to make a film. And then I had people who came like from a shop and said like, should I remove the Coca-Cola from, maybe you don't need it in the film. Is this the time? And I was like, oh my God. And then because I cast the people like by staying with them in the cafe, I see them going home and preparing, you know. For me, it was beautiful. It was like, we lived there, me, my cinematographer, and the whole cast, but not the other technicians. The sound came later because we had to do test with voices and how they work because of the language. You know, it's a very strange language when you hear it as a foreigner. So, but this is, I think, I appreciate it a lot. You know, yeah.
Could you be more specific about recording the voices?
Yeah, because some voices doesn't like. He found a lot of. It can be a good person that could very well fit, but the sound, and the tone of the voice was very strange. You know, like it didn't fit with because he was working a lot with levels of the sound of the voices. That's what we spent most of the time, not like doing music or like. So he paid a lot of attention to this, and he was not from Kosovo. So this was like, how could he hear? Does this melody resonate to what we were talking or no?
But the voices have not been recorded in the studio.
No.
So live?
Yeah, it's live.
Okay. Mhm. I think it's very interesting to you said before to open your frames, your images, your story, and opening like like you've done it means for me, for us, I guess, to be able to understand the complexity of the situations, the complexity, and in this complexity you can't never see and understand everything, and that's maybe your aim, your goal, to leave us at the end of the projection kind of lost, and to try to find our way, understanding the main ideas, the main values of the film. No,
I think maybe somehow I am glad it happened like that. Again, I don't start with saying, "Oh, I will trick them," and but for me, it's beautiful when the film comes to you, like while you, for example, eating lunch now, and you recognize something. Oh, but you know, this is much more beautiful than when you go out of cinema and you know exactly what you saw. So I'm tending to make that kind of cinema.
Some filmmakers decide to make one shot for one scene. Have you made? How do you work yourself? Repeating, rehearsing, and then shooting one time or many times?
Actually, it was very no, not repeating, because the I knew that I have to do with teenage girls. And of course, they are in this age when they need a boost of confidence. And of course, it could be very, very tricky with having film and camera as a device to do that, because then it's an artificial growing or burst of that confidence. So I try to have as less possible camera around as, to not have it present, or to be invisible when we were rehearsing. For me, it was important to have life on set. I wanted to create the scenes that I wrote, and then when I saw the thing happening in front of me, like people were going in the home, out, and like as if it really is their life, but they lived in that house for a long time already, and they knew each other, and they became good with their own bodies as well, touching each other or like interacting. And then I decide where I put the camera and what is the best angle to show what is really happening, knowing that what I'm aiming.
Why are you already preparing a new film? Why do you want to make films?
Because I have something else to say. I have some more to say that I can stop.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Sorry.
Did you show the film to the people who played in it, and how was the reaction?
Mm-hmm. No, we didn't show it. We are having that in August. First of all, it was not just pandemic, because we could do that to the crew at least. But I wanted to protect the main actress a lot. Like I wanted to have her, she passes a lot of time before she sees the film. I mean, both of them, because it could influence. We are a very small country and very small society, and the influence is so high and the expectations are so high. So I wanted to behave like, you let air a bit in between. And I met her like time to time and see that, okay, she's ready, she knows what she did. And because she grew in the film, she grew with us. And it's a bit tricky. This is how we protected her, but I think the whole crew and cast, for them it will be fresher when they see it after a period.
Protect her from what?
Because she wants to be an actress. And of course she doesn't know still if she wants to study or no, and she asks me all the time. And I think if you show it in Kosovo, she will have a big name immediately. So me and my producer decided that, okay, we take a bit of time, she knows a bit what she wants, and after the film, because they lived so much in that town and within the film, it was really a lot of energy happening. So this is, but also because I lived in Prague, so now is the right time. August, I think it will be.
So it's important to give back the film somehow. You
Sure, it is. I mean, that will be the one of the most moving experiences to see the film between them. Because I know them and I think they recall very well how it went, so I want to see their reaction, for sure. Maybe I was not ready as well now when I see. So, yeah.
Do you make a difference between taking an image and giving an image?
for me, an image is it's a process when you have to show something that doesn't necessarily transmit immediately to a word, or that you can immediately grasp the total intention of an image. Oh, it's this image and this will happen. I try to create that image that allows you to think not only what is happening, but what have happened before this moment. So this is how I approach images, I would say.
Thank you very much for this conversation.
Thank you.
Congratulations for this film. I guess it's really a way to step in, step by step, in your culture, in your society. Belonging to our own European culture. You are part of us and we are part of you. I mean, with Kosovo, so welcome.
Thank you. It's
Thank you very much.
ending.
Have a good day. Thank you.